Hello world and welcome back to another Advanced Wars by Web Grand Strategy cast. Today we're going to be covering day 27 of my Grand Strategy game on Asia. So this turn just rolled in and let's see where we're at. So we can see here actually at the end of turn 26, after I had made my move, remember I had wanted to kind of put Blue Moon in a place where he no longer wanted to attack, instead he wanted to kind of agree to a peace with me. So this turn, we're more or less about to see how that goes, and we can continue on and see kind of what happens throughout the rest of the game as well. So beginning here, Cobalt Ice is going to begin his turn. Tries to take back a little bit of territory, builds himself a little medium tank there, and he's just got some further expansion. Meanwhile, when Blue comes around, what does he decide to do? Ultimately, it looks like he's deciding to pull back and to kind of cease hostilities between us, which is definitely the smart move for him unless he wants to fight a whole bunch of battleships, which he doesn't, so he wants to focus more to the east on red. So it looks like we have some sort of tenuous agreement here, but we're going to have to work out the details. And that leads us to my turn, day 27. All my units supply up. I have about 32,000 gold in the bank with a regular income of 46,000. And I think I am ready to begin my turn. Now, one thing to keep note of actually is that red is so close to getting his super. I would more or less expect him to get a super either on his turn or at some point before his turn. So I do expect another Drake super to be activated coming next turn. So that's just the reality of having two different Drakes on a larger game like this. You're going to have a lot of Typhoons, and that's exactly what's about to happen. So I'm going to keep that in mind with my movements. I'm going to try to join as many units as I can. I'm going to try to end everything on a property so it will repair. Because it's about to take 2 damage, so we might as well get it to a place where it can start healing that up again, in addition to all this other damage that we've got on us. My focus is going to be trying to recover as quickly as possible after this little skirmish here, and then hopefully I actually can build up a fleet to go on and take on red. Also, I plan on building more or less just a bunch of infantry this turn so that I suffer the fewest casualties and the least costs from this typhoon that I know is incoming. So I guess the best thing to begin with is probably just a bit of capping, so we'll go ahead and do that here. Almost capture this sector, only 8 points left. There's going to be a typhoon next turn, so it's going to take me at least 2 more turns to capture this sector. Hooray. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a unit on this point and begin to capture it. I'm not actually going to capture with this unit, though. What I will do is leave this infantry unit inside of this APC for the Typhoon, and then it will pop out and begin to capture next turn. I'll have this mech wait here on this property as well, so they can get a bit of recovery in. I will capture and finally capture this territory here with this mech, so they will get a nice little heal next turn. We'll finally capture this factory up here, which is what I've been working for quite a while. I'll move this infantry up, begin to capture here, lay my claim to that territory, and I will capture this comms tower here, which is a huge benefit to me. That is an unbelievable boon. So that's something that's pretty important as well. Now, I've really got to come up with a way where I can juggle around my units a little bit so all my damage tanks end up on properties and they begin repairing it that way, while still maintaining security along my border here. I don't want to be too vulnerable at any time, although I don't think he has too much to attack me with at this point. One of the things I am really worried about is Cobalt Ice here. Does have a victory march ready to go. So maybe next turn, or maybe the turn after next turn. If they really wanted to be sneaky, they could use it to stab me in the back. For sure. I am worried about this comm tower. I'm very happy that I have it. Now I have 2 of the 3 comm towers on this map. But it's in a very vulnerable spot. And I feel like if Cobalt Ice gets the opportunity to grab it, he just might. You see, the problem with my territory is that I've just got these really awful borders, and they're really open up to my enemy. See, you look at my territory here, I've got to hold this entire peninsula kind of area. And then up top, I have to do the same with Blue Moon. And I've got him kind of encircled, but that means I have a very large area to defend against. And if you look at the actual properties that, for example, Blue Moon has, his properties are much more densely packed, and his factories are much closer to the front. So he's able to defend a smaller space than I am, and he's got reinforcements that are nearby. I have a larger amount of income and a larger number of factories, but that does come at the expense of, if you look at my territory, it's very mountainous, it's difficult to navigate, there's not very good infrastructure. And that is something that is really going to limit me here. So as these lines begin to get reformed, we can only sue for peace to such an extent that's only going to work for so long. And after a while, if things get hectic, when I look at these borders, I know that I am very vulnerable to both Blue Moon and to Cobalt Ice at the same time if they wanted to team up on me. Okay, I'll put that there, and then I will keep that infantry safe inside that APC for this turn. Same with this infantry, I'll keep it nice and safe on in there. Move this guy up north here. And I think I've got a special mission for him. So I think I'll place my APC there, and that makes me want to put a mech right there. Definitely an infantry down there. I've made so many APCs this game, but I only have one in the south still. Now, what to do with my battleships is a really big question. I know I'm going to be getting hit with a Typhoon next turn, so that's going to be a bitch and a half to repair. That's going to be, what, 5,600 in repairs on both of these. And this guy is at 8 health already, so he's going to need to heal another 5,600 worth. After that, that's going to be pricey. Not to mention, I do have this submarine down here that's just about out of fuel. I had it concealed this whole time, protecting my battleships, and I really don't want to have to reveal it. However, well, it might just be about to run out of fuel. You know, I'm really not quite comfortable with just how much stuff I have up in the north here, especially given how vulnerable this border is. I'm really just relying on Cobalt's goodwill not to pressure me on this point, which is exactly the position I was in with Blue Moon, and look how that ended up. But I can't quite throw down a battleship over here to solve my problems the way I could with this port. So I need to be very careful with this. See, when you just look at this battleship, the range it has and the damage it can do, it's pretty spectacular. It's very well positioned here on this port, and of course I do get Lash's bonus, both her day-to-day and her prime tactics bonus, from this port. So it's a pretty ideal position. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do one mech here, because I can throw it in the APC next turn and get it right up to the front. And besides that, I'm just going to go with all infantry, because that's the cheapest thing possible. That'll give me some units, so there we go. That'll be nice to have some reinforcements headed my way. And the big thing is, because I know there's going to be a Typhoon real soon, I'm anticipating that, so I don't want to build any expensive units that are just going to have a huge chunk taken out of them. Hopefully that infantry, you know, it'll take the brunt of it. It'll be very cheap to repair, and then next turn I can go on with my expensive purchases. So I guess all that's left to do really is just move these battleships and figure out what to do with them. Okay, and everybody else is going to hold. And that will end my turn. So thank you so much for joining me again in my Advance Wars by Web Grand Strategy Cast. Do appreciate you joining us for day 27. And keep an eye out for the next one. If you enjoyed this sort of thing, and I really hope you did, consider subscribing so that our next thing actually shows up in your feed when it's out. Like the video, because not only do I love the positive moral support of that, but it also really helps with the YouTube algorithm. The crazy science fiction that it is. If you press the like button, good things happen. And if you really liked it, then hey, drop a comment below and let me know. Give me a comment on the game. Give me a comment on the video. Always appreciate some good feedback. So thank you so much, and I'll see you on in the next one.